As you're saying just before the news break there, the government keen to continue to explore its new energy strategy, trying to wean us off some of those fuels, trying to bring about a greater degree of independence. And as part of that, there are some more announcements concerning millions of pounds of investment for what are called cutting-edge energy technologies. You can probably tell I'm merely reading that, so let's speak to someone for whom knows all the level of detail that is required. I speak of Energy and Climate Change Minister Greg Hands, who joins me now. OK, sir, what sort of money are we talking about and where is it going? Good morning.
It's about £375 million, and this is going into new energy technologies or newer energy technologies like nuclear, which has obviously been around a while, but this is new forms of nuclear, hydrogen and carbon capture, utilization and storage. This is how to take carbon out of the atmosphere and effectively bury it underground.
This is new money, is it, Minister?
And a lot of it is looking at existing commitments, how we're actually going to spend it. So the hydrogen money, for example, that we've committed to was committed last October, but the hydrogen business model lays out exactly how this will be spent and how it will support technology innovation in the hydrogen space, which is a really, really exciting possibility for the UK as a fuel of the future, low carbon fuel that will enable us to power things like ships, potentially planes, lorries, HGVs, and so on with hydrogen.
Notwithstanding its importance, though, it is fair to say we have heard of some of this money already then. It has effectively been spent before.
Well, it's not been spent before, but what today does
before
is outline, it outlines how it will be spent and where it will be spent and the procedures for making sure that we get best value for money.
You won't be surprised, Minister, that we've been talking about energy and power a lot over recent weeks, and particularly yesterday. There does seem, and you'll know better than I because this is your brief, there does seem a very cogent argument to have a closer look at what could be provided by tidal power. And I know we talk hydrogen, we talk advanced nuclear and CCUS, carbon capture. Nothing about tidal power, Minister. Why?
Well, because we've already made announcements on tidal. What's going on, Nick? We have at the moment an auction, a contracts for difference auction on renewables. And for the first time ever, we've included a dedicated pot of £20 million to support tidal projects, which is really exciting. The UK, we're very blessed, Nick, by an excellent geography and excellent geology. Tidal is very much part of that. We've got some great potential for tidal. This £20 million is dedicated for helping tidal projects to be able to realise that potential.
The policies that we heard outlined yesterday by your colleague Kwasi Kwarteng came under fire from a number of commentators and maybe predictably the Labour Party as well. But one common theme seemed to be that your government could have done more to bring about better and swifter insulation of our homes. Do you accept that level of criticism? And if not, why not? What have you provided for?
Yeah, no, I don't accept that criticism because we launched in October our heat and building strategy that outlines in some detail how we are going to do that. It is a big challenge, Nick. I would agree with you there, but we have made a lot of progress in this country. The amount of homes that are rated C or better for energy efficiency has improved from 13% to 43% in the last decade. But we need to get that higher still. But that's why we're investing £6.6 billion in this Parliament to make sure that our energy efficiency, particularly of buildings, improves still further.
How long? I won't need to tell you, you're touring the country, I'm sure. A lot of people are hurting with their gas bills and their power bills and their energy bills, the cost of living crisis. The measures that you and your colleagues are putting in place, how long before they'll actually be felt in the bill, in their pocket, and we might see some reductions?
Well, we're already seeing the reduction in council tax, the council tax discount, which is already coming in for those in bands A to D properties of £150 off council tax. We also have an additional fund of £144 million to help local authorities support vulnerable people who are in larger homes, not in bands A to D. So there's already measures taking effect, more measures taking effect in October. The £200 discount on energy bills comes in October. We totally recognise that energy bills are very, very high for people. It's driven particularly by the world situation. The Russia-Ukraine, the appalling Russian invasion of Ukraine has driven global energy prices to record highs. The UK is not immune or exempt from those prices. That is why we are providing some support. But equally, we recognise that these are difficult times for many people with their energy bills.
Well, they are. I don't need to tell you. The energy price cap for domestic customers lifted by an average of £693 to £1,971 at the start of the month. Everybody, as you rightly say, feels that. How are you seeking to economise, Minister?
How am I seeking to economise? Well, I'm always trying to keep an eye on my energy consumption. Make sure that energy is used sensibly. I'm making sure that I'm not using cars as much as possible, making sure public transport use, all of these things I think all help to reduce energy usage, increase the way that we lead our lives, Nick, I think is going to be really important. But most of all is the support being provided by government, and particularly the energy strategy, where in the medium to long term, we need to produce more of our own energy, and more of that energy coming from low carbon, renewable sources and nuclear.
Finally, reminding listeners you served as Chief Secretary to the Treasury, the most senior position in the office outside of Chancellor. I have to ask you, are the tax affairs business arrangements of a Chancellor's wife in the public interest?
Well, look, I think there's been some of the commentary I think has been a little bit unpleasant, to be frank. But, as politicians, I think we should stick to the politicians. It's the politicians who should be scrutinised, not politicians' families. As it is, Rishi Sunak's wife has put out a statement yesterday explaining that she does pay UK tax on her UK income, pays international taxes on her international income. That is not unusual for somebody who is a foreign national. She is an Indian national, and her affairs in that regard are not unusual for somebody who is not domiciled here but is a foreign national.
But lastly, does it present the right look? We have a phenomenally successful Chancellor with an even more successful wife, enjoying considerable riches, imposing these increases in our gas bills, fuel bills and unleaded petrol. It's not a good look, is it, Minister?
Well, first, Nick, it's not the government who's imposing any increases on energy bills. Those are worldwide prices. What I would say is she has put out a comprehensive statement. She does pay UK tax on her UK income, which is quite right. And she also pays internationally tax on her international income. So it is not as if she is avoiding or evading tax. What she is doing the right thing and paying UK tax on her UK income. And she's put out a comprehensive statement to explain that.
Grateful for your time today. Greg Hands is Energy and Climate Change Minister, appearing here on LBC, where the 8 o'clock news is next.
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
Leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 8 o'clock, British defence officials say Russian forces have now fully withdrawn from northern Ukraine. Some are expected to be transferred to the